humans. Today I'm going to take you on a journey through the realms of what could have been. Does that sound dramatic enough? Because we are going to dive into the intriguing universe of new school updates and realms that never saw the light of day. From anticipated builds to potential game-changing locations. Come with me, because we are going to explore all of the Royale High updates that never came to the new school. And these will include teasers, builds from developers from as many as a couple of years ago, things that they said they were working on for the new school.
So much is in store for Royale High, and I can't wait for you guys to see the rest of my builds, because this is my baby. This is my pride and joy that I've been working on all the way since summer. A few other builds that haven't come out yet are some of my favorites.
And regardless, I'm very happy with how everything is turned out. You guys know that I just started uploading again, so exploring the new school this past week has been really exciting and fun. But I want to know what happened to all of these amazing concepts and ideas that never saw the light of day. So let's head back into the archives of Royale High past and check out some tweets and some screenshots and just some behind the scenes looks at things that were supposed to come but never actually manifested. And all of this was inspired by a thread that I saw started by Ven's Valor. I'm gonna go ahead and link it in the description of this video. But they said something about the new school doesn't feel right, a thread. And that reminded me, going back in my own personal archive on YouTube, there were a lot of teasers and little sneak peeks at things that we have not seen come to the new school. And this video will feature some clips from Vianci's latest upload where they walk you through the build that they worked on, everything for this new update, and also some stuff and some teasers talking about things that are still coming to the new school. So I will leave a link to that in the description of this video. You guys should definitely check it out. It has so much great information in there. Now we're gonna take a closer look at all these things, but what happened to Heart and Dino's builds? What happened to all of their creations that seemed to be finished a few years back? None of Heart's elemental form stuff was added. But the entire elemental concept has not been lost in Royale High. We still see little teasers to this here. In addition, there are some obbies that Vianci worked on, so we're gonna hear directly from Vianci themselves talking about it.
This is my first one of my first builds to make it public. My first one, I think, was the office, and some of the obbies, like the nature obby, the fire obby, and the water obby.
Recent builds getting added to the game before older builds. Recent builds such as the bathing area, dorm handles, etc. were created way after most of these, but somehow they were released before the builds. The front of the school was changed. Back then the school had grassland, but now it's basically on an island. The whole castle was changed a lot from how it used to look. The devs possibly changed the whole school in its original concept. On the left is an early picture of the school, and on the right is the picture they used for Roblox advertisements, which are a year apart. But 1 year later, and after the Roblox ad pic, the school released differently. Now let's start with the original concept art. This is from March 2020 that Night Barbie posted herself, and this was designing the layout of the new realm. And now that we know what it looks like, you can see that these lockers have been moved indoors. There's still the grand staircase and entrance, which right now, because it's Glitter Frost, has a giant tree. And then you can see you can go to the left, to the right, and it will teleport you to some different areas. So a lot of this actually changed by the time we got the new school and the update was out. Now we are in the Glitter Frost update, so this is the winter updated version of the school map. I'll show you guys some screenshots of what it looks like when it's not all frosty and glowy and beautiful, but as you can see, the school is pretty much floating on an island. You can't really reach any land outside of it that's not already on predetermined pathways, and you can see here there's not a whole lot around the outside of the school either, but the castle is absolutely immaculate. So remember, we're not saying anything bad about the way it turned out. Concepts change, plans change, but let's take a look at some of the original progress shots that Heart originally tweeted out. And my gosh, you guys, this is from 3 years ago. Heart posted some more progress pics, and this was from September 2nd of 2020. Wow, so here's the original build. This is where it all started, and as you guys know, this new school and new map and new castle, all of this stuff was in development for years and years and years. But you can see how the concept has drastically changed. And one thing that I would really love to see implemented is some sort of gardening feature or some sort of plant or nature feature added into the new build in some capacity. Maybe one day they will add some sort of a gardening class or some sort of feature like that for all of us nature girlies out there. So never say never, but it is still fun to look back at these old shots and see what could have been. On the subject of concepts concepts that have changed drastically over time. We saw another teaser from a Night Barbie stream, and she posted this cozy, rainy window, and you can see it's permanently raining outside. And again, this was all the way back in February 2020, and now we have seen this translated and updated for the new school. We have the cursed classroom, and it is permanently rainy, and you look out the windows, and it is just raining and cozying, and I think a really nice ambiance. So I don't know about you guys, but I just have a way better time focusing and doing anything in the rain. So again, another concept that she tweeted a little teaser of and completely updated and rejuvenated and made it super magical in the new school. So we have seen a lot of things change. So the original concept may not have made it, but they made it bigger and better for the new school, such as this. This little study nook in the corner of the classroom also received a major update. So this is what it currently looks like in game, and you see little beanbag chairs. It's kind of a bunk up top and then a study area underneath. There's some cute little board games and bookshelves, and I love that bookshelf texture on the back wall. And of course, no cozy space would be complete without the fairy lights. And wow, this concept that Barbie tweeted out in 2020, just the classroom in general looks so much different and so much better. You can see the book texture is different. The beanbags look cuter. She kept the idea of having this little study nook up top, but just made it so much more aesthetic and, in my opinion, so much more cozy. And the lighting makes a huge difference. So you can see where this concept started to where it ended and just how much better it looks. So yes, technically this exact classroom never made it in, but a much better version did. After the hanging gardens, we see this beautiful pathway, and it sort of reminds me of the Palace of Versailles. These long, beautiful corridors with lots of natural light coming in from the outside. Remember these beautiful chandeliers? I remember making a video about this all the way back in 2020 as well. But it's just very romantic and beautiful and sparkly. And wow, look at this outside build. So you can see a bunch of outdoor seating areas, and again, it is just bright and vibrant and absolutely luminous and lustrous. And I really love Heart's builds. I think Heart is such an amazing and talented modeler and creator at everything that they do. So it's really fun to see these original concepts and see kind of where it ended up. Now, the Royale High Dungeon was also totally different. You can see all of these creepy builds of jail cells and how moody and dramatic it is. So it's kind of funny to see what they had in mind originally. It's very Halloween-y, and I would still love to see some more creepy areas like this. And they also, back in July of 2020, so this was before those previous screenshots, Dino and Hart were actually working on a new build for Royale High, and they gave us a sneak peek of the new build. And you can see here some more areas that don't exist. And again, I think this was also inspired by some of those European palaces. You can see these beautiful gardens. I personally, again, because I love Versailles, and I actually was just watching a video about the Palace of Versailles on YouTube earlier today. It is very reminiscent of that to me. And luckily the piano, you can see this little screenshot of the piano that still made it in the game.
Over here, it's a more like intimate piano area, but I just think this piano has the most amazing, beautiful view of the whole Castle Heart.
So here we are standing in front of the beautiful piano, and yeah, like I said, I'm so glad it made it in. It's an absolutely beautiful feature and staple, and I just love this room in general. Like, this is a room I love to film little intros and bits in, so the piano made it, you guys, don't worry. So Valerie also mentioned that recent builds were added to the game before older builds, and I actually do think that makes sense, because as time goes on, the concepts and the ideas change, and people's skills and the things that they're working on can change. Still really wish we had this hallway though. And apparently some of the more recent builds, like the bathing areas, the dorms, were created after, but they were released before. And again, I still think that makes a lot of sense. Now, in terms of the front of the school changing, now we did show you a clip earlier how it looks sort of like the school is on an island. It's floating out in the middle of the universe. But look at this screenshot. This is actually from one of Barbie's streams. You can see right here, this is Barbie's documents, the castle layout, and this was in 2020. 3 years ago, this is the layout that she was envisioning and imagining, and I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely miss the Night Barbie streams, and just any of the devs streaming in general. Show them some support, because we get to see a really good inside scoop at what they're working on, different parts, how the concepts are changing in real time. But this is what she had built. So undoubtedly all of Barbie's builds are beautiful. Past, present, and future, I'm sure, are going to be immaculate. But it's really cool to see how she's taken her initial concepts and developed them to make something really complete and polished. And that is what we have in the new castle. I mean, look at how spacious it is. Look at these beautiful vaulted ceilings and this work of art up top I can't even talk about. But I think she and the team have done a really good job of taking her original concepts and working with other developers to bring them to life in a big and beautiful way. So here's Here's another screenshot from one of Barbie's streams. You can see right here, Royale High School Castle of the Valkyrie, the iconic gate that we love so much that is still in the game, and her little pink and blue castle in the background. And everything is still very much pink and blue themed, so happy to see that that stayed true. And the gates actually look exactly the same, so that concept did not change. You can see here, it's the exact same gates that were in her original picture from 3 years ago, which is really exciting. It does seem like they actually kept some of these older elements. They just adapted them and changed them for their more modern aesthetic and tried to make it better for the players in the game, which I fully support. Even though it is kind of a little difficult when you see things change, you get really excited, you see teasers and it's not the same. I think that they made it bigger and better. Look at how beautiful this is, but the gate is exactly the same. Now, recently they actually changed the outdoor locker courtyard, and that was replaced with the Castle Heart, which is now located inside of the school, as Ben's Valerie has pointed out here. So the lockers weren't entirely scrapped. You can see them right as you enter the castle's heart. They are pink and blue, and they are located right here. So we still do have the lockers, but they're just not massive and in the courtyard anymore. They are located right inside when you enter the school. Valerie had an idea that because the whole layout of the castle has changed, now it's an island, that a lot of these areas were scrapped because it just doesn't fit with the layout anymore. And again, if we look at another tweet from Hart back in September of 2020, I think that makes sense. This was the kitchen area and an outdoor seating area, and because the castle doesn't really have any grasslands outside of it, there just wouldn't be room for you to walk around to these extra areas. I think as a way to get rid of a lot of lag that could be generated, instead of having all of those areas outside where you walk around from place to place, they made it all compartmentalized. So you teleport to the heart of the castle, which is beautiful and immaculate and large. And then we also see some sneak peeks of areas that have not come yet.
Look where we are. We are at the cafeteria. Now, if you look inside, you can see a sneak peek of what's to come in the future of Royale High. Anyways, the new cafeteria for lunchtime. It's spectacular, guys. I can't wait for you to see it. Just trimmed with garland and beautiful Christmas decorations. Cafeteria is also one of my proudest builds as well, so I really am excited for you guys to see that. But yeah, you can take your snacks out here, eat on the balcony with your friends, and just overlook the busy Castle Heart.
The cafeteria was kind of one of those old school classic staples in the old high school build, and I like that they left the door open so we can kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek. We still see there is a lunch lady there, and as Bianchi said in the video, we will be able to carry our little trays of food and snacks, something that I know a lot of people miss. I'm not sure if there will be an eating area inside here, but there are eating areas around the map, as you can see if you turn around these little tables up front. So another teaser that we haven't seen come to the new school, but was talked about, but is not here yet, and we're not sure when it's coming. But if the mat is to be believed, then it should be coming fairly soon. And if you enter the castle and go to the right and zoom over here, here is another area that has not come yet. It still says coming soon. These doors are currently locked. You cannot go outside, but I am wondering if that's not going to be one of these extra areas that we saw sneak peeks of years ago. Perhaps a baking area, a gardening area. I'm not entirely sure. You can see the doors lead to outside, so maybe these concepts aren't entirely scrapped. Maybe they're just being repurposed or reworked to do it in a way where it won't generate as much lag for the player, because as we know, as the map grows, the lag will grow. So compartmentalizing all of this into its own separate segments, separate games will be a lot better for all of you players out there. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. If you have any ideas or predictions, or have seen any other little sneak shots that I haven't seen in the past, I would love to hear about it. So as for now, we know for certain that the school is not finished, nowhere near it. We have seen sneak peeks in the past of some possible updates in areas and locations and activities that could be coming. We don't know what the devs are currently working on, especially with December. December is all about the glitter frost, and as it should be, they are hard at work making the map magical and providing us with some amazing items for the advent. So I will be back in a day to do the next advent item. I have seen some speculations on what it could be on Twitter. People are thinking it could be a rocking chair, this, maybe some knitting needles and some yarn. I'm not entirely certain, but leave your predictions down below for not only the new advent items, but the new updates that could be coming to the school. I hope you guys enjoyed this little list and this little preview of updates that never actually made it to the school, but who knows, possibly they could be coming. If you did enjoy enjoyed this, please leave a like and share. Everybody sharing my videos has been so helpful because I was away from YouTube for so long. I mean, I was gone for almost 2 years, and there's still parts of the school that aren't done being built. So again, thank you guys so much for welcoming me back. It feels so great to be back. And it's also exciting to see that the school isn't even done being worked on yet, which I can't wait to see what they're gonna put out next. I also went back and looked at some of my older uploads from when Barbie and all these devs were originally leaking these things, so I'll go ahead and leave a couple of links to old videos if you guys wanted to check those out for yourselves as well. That will be in the description. And yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of things that did not make it into the new build, but were beautiful and inspiring nonetheless. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, humans. Goodbye!